keep it pushing, move on to the next game, and we just gotta face these battles with a pure heart. Just keep going.
Joy, you kept your composure for a majority of the game, and halfway through, I saw you kind of motion like this. Is that your way of calming down? Like, how do you control yourself in games like this?
Yeah, and that's just me trying to calm down and relax myself, because obviously when something negative happens, the first thing that comes to everyone's head is negative thoughts. I mean, even players, coaches, fans watching, it's just a normal reaction, you know. So just trying to keep my attitude positive is the biggest key for me.
Isaac, obviously in the first half there, from a defensive standpoint for New Mexico, that's kind of what they hang their hat on. And turnovers were a big thing for your team in the first half. Was it more about just more of a sloppy play by you guys, or was it more defensively for New Mexico what they brought to the table?
I feel we just didn't play our best today. We just gotta stay in the gym, and we gotta work on just trusting each other more at the end of the day. I feel like the amount of time we put in the gym, we got to swing the ball to the next man. The open man is our go-to man, which Coach says, and we got to keep it going.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, so the turnover is obviously a huge part of this first half in the game for you guys in this game. Is kind of directed towards Isaac as well as you, Trey. But is it more about was it more about them from a defensive standpoint, or more about just your play offensively?
Yeah, I mean, when you come out and you get your butt kicked, you kind of got to give the other team props. They were scrappy defensively, but there's no excuse for us. We got to learn how to take care of the ball.
In your guys' words, you have kind of an explanation for what's been going on this season. You have really high highs and then really low lows. Just take me through that kind of.
We're not consistent. That's pretty much all it is.
Is there something that's going on off the court that is causing this? Like, is there anything that we don't see on the court that might be causing this?
No, I mean, everyone comes to practice every day. Everyone pretty much shows up on time for the most part. You know, we all seem like we're focused. It's just inconsistent when it comes to being on the court.
Probably the least of the team's concern in a game like this one, but I'm wondering if at any point during the first half or midway through the second, did you guys realize that, oh man, we haven't made a three-pointer? Is that something that you kind of think about in game, or did you kind of not realize it until then? Eventually you did make one, but like for a while.
Yeah, I feel like that's not what we're focused on in the heat of the moment. We just gotta. I feel like us fighting is most of the time what we have to do. We're not really worried about the offensive end. We got to stop them from scoring that leads to our offense.
Really tough loss. How do you not have something like this carry over and just put a loss like this behind you and move on? You got a good game coming up on the road on Friday.
You know, you just like you say, you bury it in the back of your head. You come into practice tomorrow, come and watch film tomorrow, and whenever we have practice, come with that much energy. You know, keep it at the back of your head, but you also want to keep it like a chip on your shoulder. You don't want to forget about it. That way, every time we play, it's, you know, it's there. It's like, no, we can't lose like this again.
Thank you guys.
Oh, good, Andy. Okay, couple things. First off, credit to New Mexico. We got our butts kicked. Bottom line, got our butts kicked. We got our just 0-2 in this homestand, just unacceptable. Bottom line, the only two positives out of this game, and there were none, but the two, thank the good Lord that we hit a three-pointer, and I thought Nas Cunningham at the end gave us some good minutes. So I thought those were the two positive signs. Other than that, we were terrible. I thought They had a hit first mentality, and we had a soft first mentality. And I'm, just it's not who I am, and we got our butts kicked. And hey, and it starts with me. So I'm the head coach. So no, you can't hide or run from it. We've got to be better. We got a quick turnaround, 72 hours. We play, at Nevada on Friday night at 7 o'clock. I told our guys, your toughness will be tested to see how you respond on Friday night. Not only those 4 letters on the front jersey of UNLV, but also taking pride of who you are your name on the back of the jersey as well too. And we were just out of sorts. Tyron Jones, obviously, first play of the game, hurt his shoulder. The very first play of the game, we ran a play to get him at the post. And for whatever happened, he felt he heard a pop. So on the same shoulder that he had separated, and then obviously him being out hurts us because he's a key guy. And I just thought the turnovers. I thought we were selfish the first half. The ball was not moving; it was sticking. We were just bad, bad from top to bottom. Starts with me. From top to bottom, we were just bad, and we can't hide or run from it. Told our guys we got to be better. I'm disappointed on this 2-game homestand here. We had a great opportunity for our fans, and we didn't get it done. And as much as I've been imploring for people to come, it's also my responsibility and our team's responsibility to earn the fans' trust back. And you got to win home games. You've got to win home games. And we've been good on the road, but we have not been good enough at home. And that's got to change. And so, just disappointed all the way around.
Questions? Coach, it kind of seems like you guys have been struggling to find an offensive identity. What would you say the offensive identity is right now?
Well, we've struggled. Look, the reality of it is, in the non-conference, we're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league or in the country. And in conference, we've been shooting the ball really well. But the reality of it is, when you have Tyron and Kamani on the floor, the spacing gets congested. And we need Dre to score. We need him to score, but we're also he's our only point guard. And that's obviously, as it's not a natural position for him. He's gotten better at it, but it's just, we're trying to, our identity needs to be, I want to play fast. I want to be the running Rebels. We want to get up and down and play in strike mode. But, the last 2 games, we haven't played fast enough. Our pace has been bad. We've had to run a little more set plays just to be able to get some guys some opportunities to get guys shots in positions that they can score. We haven't been the running Rebels over the last few games, the last 2 home games. We just haven't been running. We just have not been running. Part of that is we haven't been getting stops. We're not blocking shots at the rim. And we need to play with great pace. And, we're turning it over. We turned over a lot at the beginning part of the game, just like we did for San Diego State. And so you're not getting any shots up at the rim. And so our scoring has taken a dip in these 2 home games. So our identity needs to be a team that we're playing as fast as we can. We need to be the running Rebels. We've got to play with great pace, and the ball's got to move. And I thought the first half we were extremely selfish. The ball stuck. Some of those passes, the guys are cutting, we call it colliding, where a guy cuts and we're just throwing it out of bounds. We were just all out of sorts. And there's no excuse, but it's glaring, like in a game like this when you don't have a point guard. And it was glaring this evening.
I guess to follow up on that, what is San Diego State and New Mexico doing schematically that have been different than what these schools have done previously?
Yeah, I just think I thought their physicality was, we didn't have a great hit first physicality, and we weren't great on the glass in either game offensively. We've got to get more out of our fives. We got to get more out of our fives, even around the paint there, and shot blocking. Obviously, we've got to be able to block shots. But our guards have to be, this is a guards game. And we rely heavily on Dre. Just the facts are the facts. We need him to be at a high level. And last 2 games, he hasn't been at a high level. Even though he scored 27 against San Diego State, he had a couple of open threes and then some of those turnovers. And he's gotten better and better and better, and I love him dearly, and he's improved so much. But for our team to be successful, guys like him, Kamani, those guys got to be high-level dudes. And when they're not, we get stuck, and we're relying on some other guys that naturally, it's not, for them to put the ball in the basket, it's not always who they are. And so but we got our butts kicked today. No other way to deny it, especially in that first half. We just got our butts kicked.
Josh mentioned the turnovers there at the half, of course, down, over 20 points at halftime. This is one of the better teams in the Mountain West when it comes from a defensive standpoint. What was your approach as far as halftime going into the second half, where you're able to kind of pick it up right in that second half from an offensive standpoint, but you're just too far behind?
Yeah, well, because we weren't as selfish. We had a couple selfish shots in the second half, but we were much more. The ball was moving. We were cutting. We weren't selfish. I mean, when you drive the ball and there's two guys collapsing on you, got to move that sucker. And just we weren't doing that the first half. I thought there was a couple times where Dre in the first half trying to force the issue. We had a couple of those passes that just there was for no reason for it, and then I just Kamani Hamilton's got to be better for us. I mean, as much as it's a plays game, it's not a plays game; it's a players game, and I just thought the second half we played much more unselfishly. And like I said at the beginning, I think there's the only two positives. Thank the good Lord we hit a three. And I thought Nas Cunningham, who hadn't played in a while, came in and gave us good minutes, so we need to reevaluate that, especially offensively.
Coach, your rotation in the first half looked a little different than it normally does. Can you take us through what the process was?
I wasn't planning on Tyron Jones being out in the first minute of the game and then telling me that he can't play the rest of the game. Wasn't what we planned on. And then you're just kind of scrambling from there because you're trying to figure it out. And then we got in some foul trouble again, and you're looking towards the bench, even for guard play, because when Dre gets in foul trouble, like Isaac Williamson, who I thought he played well tonight in some spurts, and he's going to continue to get better. But naturally, he's not a natural point guard. He's an off guard. He's a two guard. And both him and Dre are scoring mentalities. And so you're trying to find that points position at some point there to get us going. And we just didn't get it done.
We've heard about the flu. We've heard about injuries before, but in nights like tonight, what's going on? Like, is the locker room not together?
No, I mean, our guys have been connected. I think we miss. I'm just telling you, it's when you don't have your you're missing a quarterback to help along the way, and it can be glaring at times. And we've been able to cover some things up, but when sometimes get some tough things, and just being able to run a team and get us situated, you need that quarterback and to be able to relieve some pressure off of Dre. So, our guys are connected. It's just, we were just bad. I thought they were just more physical than we were. We got to get more out of our fives even in some areas. And no one was good. And it starts with me. Don't shy away from anything. It starts with me. Nobody was good. We just were not good. But we have, in 72 hours, we play Friday night at 7. Great test to see, who you are as a young person, who you are as a young man. Obviously, the 4 letters on the front with UNLV, and then obviously the pride on the back of the jersey. We're going to see we'll see what kind of character that we step out on Friday with, what kind of toughness we have, and if not, these things will continue to happen. I'm just beyond disappointed. Because we had 2 great opportunities at home, and we didn't do our job. That's just the bottom line.
Just a few follow-ups. How serious is the tournament?
I don't know. Because I had to do the media right after. I'm hoping it's not serious. Probably won't be able to do anything until they get an X-ray or possibly an MRI. And so we probably won't know more until tomorrow. But that was obviously losing him was, that was a big loss.
And then also, I just wanted to follow up. You mentioned, thank God you made a 3-pointer. How aware were you of the NCAA record that UNLV holds the longest 3-pointer streak that you maybe even think about in a game? Or?
Well, no, I just, I'm just aware of the record, and I know it's an important part. And I would rather win the game and not get the 3, but we got our butts kicked. So I was trying to find anything of a silver lining that, like I said, there's only 2 positives tonight. Was we hit a 3, thank the good Lord, to keep the streak going, because that's just, I know that's important for the fans. And secondly, I thought Nas Cunningham gave us good minutes on the offensive end, and he hadn't played in a while, so I thought that was positive, and got to reevaluate that.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay, everybody. Okay, thanks, everybody.